Hello.
I'll keep an eye on it, Mr. Parker. Don't mess with
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Sequoyah HS Tr and our winter show, The Good Doctor. Before we begin tonight, there were a couple of things that I wanted to mention to you. First of all, I thank you all for coming out on a Thursday night when I know it is cold and almost icy. It's just enough to make you nervous, but I think we're going to be okay. There were a few announcements I wanted to make before we begin. We always try and include everyone in our program that we want to thank, and if you look at our program, we're very proud of our program. We go out every year and try and sell more and more ads because all our ad money goes to our Drama Booster Scholarship Fund, and all the money from the ads that you see, the hundreds of ads it seems like in our program, will help to put one senior or more into college next year, and we're very proud of the efforts of our Booster Club and our drama officers in selling ads. I think we have some of the nicest programs of anybody I've ever seen, and I'm just tickled to death about them. They're full of cast profiles and the cast list and boosters and thank yous and lots of people who advertise with us, so go patronize those people. There are always more people that we want to thank. We can never get to the program in time, and I want to go through that list and give those people recognition. First of all, there were a couple of changes that we neglected to make on the Booster Club list. We left off, and we certainly didn't mean to, Jamie and Greg Kazorik. They are Booster members, and we want to recognize them. Also, you'll see in there, I think towards the top of the Booster list, it says Rick and Janet. That's Rick and Janet Woodruff. We just call them Rick and Janet so much, we just left off their last name. But they are also boosters. We want to thank our administration. We have got an incredible administrative staff here at the school. Our faculty and our staff come to our plays in droves, and we appreciate their support. One of our assistant principals, Ms. Holly Martin, is here tonight, and we thank her for being here. We also want to thank, for various things that helped us on the show in different ways, Keith and Brenda Hall, the Cherokee Tribune, especially on the Cherokee Tribune staff, Kathy Wagstaff and Jack Jasinski. There's a neat little article in the Wednesday paper on our show, so if you know somebody in the play, you might want to cut out that article as a souvenir. I've got to go get my copy. Also on our staff, Brian O'Connor, and our art teachers, Julie Caponegro and Pat Matthews, in their art classes. They helped us on the set in the last minute when we were sweating on other things. Susan Hanna. Also, another mother of one of our cast members, Deborah Yoder, who always helps us on publicity and puts together unbelievable posters. They look like they come out of New York or somewhere. Also Chandler Graphics, who does our t-shirts every time for our shows, and as I said, our programs come from Doss Printing. We want to also make a couple of other additions to the program. Will Rumfelt was inadvertently left off as chairperson of sound. He's in there, but just not as the chairperson of sound. Tori Hines should also be in the program. George Waller, we want to thank him for helping us with our set. And three other quick announcements. There will be one 15-minute intermission between Acts 1 and 2. We hope you go out and visit our concession stand. Our boosters are running that, and that money again goes back into our different drama club funds. We ask, though, that you please do not bring that wonderful food and drink back in here with you after the intermission. And also we ask that there be no videotaping or photography of the play tonight. We don't want the FBI to come after us for FBI copyright violation laws. I have enough trouble with the IRS as it is. Also, I want to just tell you a couple things about this play that I did not mention last night. This is a Neil Simon play, but it is based on short stories of the Russian writer Anton Chekov. And I think that you will find that Neil Simon has taken these stories and updated them for our times, but still kept some of the meaning that Chekhov meant to put in his stories. So we're going to be traveling back to Russia in about the 1800s, but I think that you will find that these characters still have some of the same frustrations and problems and joys that we have today. I think it transcends time pretty much, and that's one reason we chose to do it. I'm very proud of our cast. They have been working hard since about halfway through October. They are a wonderful cast. They have been a pleasure to work with personally as director. I also want to thank Janice Lewis. She is the head of our theater department, and she is the foundation beneath my wings, and they're waving at me in the sound booth. I think they want me to say yay sound booth. We have a sound booth now, if you haven't seen it this year, that they can look out of now and actually see the stage while they turn on and off the lights. We're awfully proud of that. The Board of Education and the administration helped us get that, and we're thankful for that. Also, Kevin Jolliker wanted me to put in a good word for him, so I'll do that. So if any of you know Kevin, I'll put in a good word for him. Now, without any further ado, and I've wasted 7 minutes, here is our winter show, The Good Doctor. Thank you for coming.
No, it's quite all right. You're not disturbing me. I'd much rather talk than write. Yet, here I am, day after day, haunted by one thought. I must write. I must write. I must write. This is my study, the room in which I do my writing. Built it myself, actually. Cut the timber and fitted the logs. Made an awful mess of it. I do my writing here inside, because the roof leaks directly on my desk. I would move the desk, but it covers a hole I left in the floor. And the floor. Well, the floor was built on the side of a hill, so in heavy rains it tends to slide downhill. Many's the day I've stood here, past my neighbors, standing on the side of the road. Still, I am happy here. Though I don't get enough visitors to suit me. People tend to shy away from writers. They assume we're always busy thinking all the time. Not true. Even my dear sweet mother doesn't like disturbing me, so she'll tiptoe up and leave my food outside the door. I haven't had a hot meal in years. But I've done a good deal of writing. Perhaps too much. I look out the window and see that life is passing me by at a furious rate. When I ask myself the question, what force is it that compels me to write so incessantly, day after day, page after page, story after story? Well, the answer is quite simple. I have no choice. I must write. I am a writer. Sometimes I think I may be mad. Well, I'm quite harmless. But I do admit to fits with one. I'm engaged in conversation where I hear nothing, see only the silent movement of lips. And answer meaningless. Yes. Yes, of course. All the while I'm thinking, he'll make a wonderful character for a story, this one. And while I'm writing, I enjoy it. And I like reading the proofs. But when it appears in print, I can't bear it. I think that it is all wrong. A mistake. It ought never to have been written. And I am miserable. And then the public reads it. Charming and clever. Charming. But a far from Tolstoy. But it's charming, a fine thing. But Turgenev's Fathers and Sons was better. And so it will be to my dying day. Charming and clever. Charming and clever. And nothing more. And when I die, my friends will walk by my grave and say, here lies so-and-so. Charming. A good writer. But Turgenev was better. You know, it's funny. But before you came in tonight, I was thinking to myself, maybe I should give it up someday. What would I do instead? Well, I've never freely admitted this before, but to you tonight in the theater, I'm going to tell you what it was I would most like to do with my life. Ever since I was a child, I always wanted to... I always wanted to... Pardon me. Just making a note. An idea just occurred to me. For a short story, it was my mentioning the theater that sparked me. Now, what were we talking about? Never mind, my thoughts are totally consumed with this new idea. Let's see how it appeals to you. It begins in a theater. It begins on the opening night of the new season. It begins with the arrival of all those dear and devoted patrons of the arts who wave and greet each other in the grand salon, commenting on how this one looks or how that one is dressed. Scarcely knowing what play they're about to see. With the exception of one man, Ivan Ilyich Chekov. If Ivan Ilyich Chekov, a civil servant, a clerk in the Ministry of Public Parks, had any passion in life at all, it was the theater. Well, he had ambitions for higher office and had dedicated his life to hard work, zeal, and patience. But he could not deny himself its one great pleasure. And so, he bought 2 tickets to the very best section, the opening night performance of Rostov's The Bearded Countess. As fortune would have it, though, into the theater that night walked his respected superior, General Mikhail Gerald, the Minister of Public Parks himself. Good evening, General.
What? Oh, yes, good evening.
Permit me, sir. I am Chekov. I am Ilyich. This is a great honor for me, sir.
Yes.
Oh, like yourself, dear General. I do serve the Ministry of Public Parks. Oh, that is to say, I serve Your Excellency, who is indeed himself the Minister of Public Parks. I am your assistant chief clerk in charge of trees and bushes.
Very nice. Lovely trees and bushes this time of year. Very nice.
General, my wife would like very much to meet you, sir. This is she, Madam Janice.
How do you do? My pleasure. My pleasure, General. How do you do?
Oh, Madam Blastoff, my wife, Madam Janice.
How do you do, Madam Brasselhoff? How do you do? I just had the pleasure of meeting your husband.
Oh, I'm my husband, Madam Blastoff. Shh.
I'm sorry.
I hope you enjoy the play, sir.
I will if I can watch it.
Feeling quite pleased with himself for having made the most of this golden opportunity, Ivan Ilyich Chekov sat back to enjoy the Bearded Countess. For he was no longer a stranger to the Minister of Public Parks. They had become, if one wanted to be generous about the matter, familiar with each other. And then, quite suddenly, without any warning at all, like a bolt of lightning from a gray, thundering sky, Ivan Ilyich Chekov reared his head back and... Oh, my goodness, Your Excellency, I'm so sorry.
Never mind, it's all right.
All right, it's not all right, sir. It's monstrous.
You make too much of a man.
Permit me to wipe your neck, dear gentleman. It's the least I can do.
Leave it be! It's all right, I say.
It's not all right, sir. I splattered you. You didn't really make a splatter, sir. It's an accident I do, but it's disgusting. Shh. You see, gentlemen, it came completely without warning, without my own job. What did I do? It's not a cold, if that's what you were worried breath, sir. It's common as a particle of dust in the nostril. Yes. Sir, try as he might, he could not put the incident out of his mind. But the sneeze, no more than an innocent anatomical accident, grew out of all proportions in his mind, until it resembled the angry roar of a cannon aimed squarely at the enemy camp. He played the incident back in his mind, slowly procedure down, so he could view again in horror the Indian's feet. It is I, sir. Chekov. I'm the capper.
Stand back, here is the sneezer.
Oh, no, ma'am. I'm afraid I'm all sneezed out. I was just concerned about you going to the night fair with that head.
Oh, that. It was a trifle, a mere faux pas. Amusing play, don't you think? Did you find it amusing?
Oh, music. Oh, my goodness, yes, sir. Oh, I've laughed. I haven't laughed so much in years, sir.
Well, what part of music do you know?
Oh, sir. The sneeze. When I sneeze, sir, excuse me.
Young men forget it. Come, my dear, it looks like rain. I wouldn't want to get my head wet again.
You shouldn't let people sneeze on you, dear. You're not to be sneezed at.
I'm ruined. He'll have me fired from trees and bushes. I'll be sent down to branches and twigs.
Come, Ivan.
What?
You mustn't let it concern you. It's just a harmless little sneeze. The general's probably forgotten it already.
Do you really think so?
No, I'm scared, Ivan.
So they walked home in despair. Maybe, if I were to buy the general last year, perhaps the his house, Janice once promising career had literally been blown away. Why did this happen to me? Why did we even go to the theater? Why did we sit in the balcony with people of our own class? They love sneezing on each other. Perhaps, if I were to apologize to General again, only in such a charming, honest, self-effacing manner, he would have no choice but to forgive me.
Maybe it's best not to remind him, Ivan.
No. If I ever expect to become a gentleman, I must learn to behave like one.
And so morning came. It so happened that this was the day that the general was petitioning. But since there were 50 or 60 petitions ahead of Chekov, he waited from morning till late afternoon.
Next!
Well, I'm not next, Your Excellency. I'm last.
Very well, then. Last.
That's me, sir.
Well, what is the petition?
I have no petition, sir. I'm not a petitioner.
Didn't waste my time.
Well, do you not recognize me, sir? We met last night under rather explosive circumstances. I'm the splatter.
The what?
The splatter. The sneezing splatter, sir.
Indeed. And what is he doing now? Auxiliary?
Oh, no. Forgive me, Your Excellency. I just wanted to make sure that it was clear that there was no antisocial or political motivation behind my sneeze. It was a nonpartisan, nonviolent act of God, sir. The hateful, no?
and I am not responsible for its indiscretions. I curse the day for Truman's formed itself on my face, sir. Punish that which committed the crime, but absolve the innocent body. Exile my nose, but forgive me. Forgive me, sir.
My dear young man, I am not angry with your nose. I am much too busy to type your nasal problem. I suggest you go home and take a bath, a hot one or a cold one. Take something, but don't bother me with this silly business again. Gibber, gibber, gibber. That's all I've heard all day. Gibber, gibber, gibber. Gibber, 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 gibber. Gibber, gibber.
Oh! Thank you, Gerald! God bless you and your wife and your household. May your days be sweet, and may your nights be sweeter than your days. Feeling of relief that came over Chekov was enormous. May the birds sing at your window in the morning, and may the coffee in your cup be strong and hot.
The weight and burden that is inestimable.
I worship the chair you sit in, and the uniform you wear which sits on that chair that I worship. He walked home, singing and whistling like a lark.
Life is surely a marvel.
A joy, a heavenly paradise. My God, I am happy. And yet, when he arrived home, he began to think, have I been the butt of a cruel and thoughtless ship?
Had the minister toyed with him?
If he had no intention of punishing me, why did he torment me so unmercifully?
If the sneeze meant so little to the general, why did he deliberately cause Chekov to writhe in bed?
West in agony throughout the night.
Chekov was furious.
I am furious.
He foamed and fumed and paced all the way through. And in the morning, called out to his wife, Sonia!
Sonia! I have been humiliated.
You, Ivan? Who would humiliate you? You're such a kind and generous person.
I'll tell you who. General Razzlehoff, the Minister of Public Parks.
What did he do?
Why? He humiliated me in such a subtle fashion, it was almost indiscernible. The man's kindness thing will always be true. He practically forced me to march into his office and beg on my hands and knees. I was reduced to a gibbering idiot.
You were that reduced?
I must go back and tell him what I think of him once. The lower classes must speak up. The world must be made safe so that men of all races and creeds, regardless of color or religion, will be free to sneeze on their superiors. It is he who will be humiliated by I.
That's nice, dear.
And so the next morning, Chekov came to humiliate me.
Well, do you not recognize me, Your Excellency? Look closer! You were right. It is I once again.
You once again who?
Chekov, Your Excellency. I have returned, taking neither a hot bath nor a cold one.
Let this filthy man. What is it?
What is it? What is it, you ask? You sit there behind your desk and ask me, what is it? You sit there in your lofty position as General and Minister of Public Parks, a member in high standing among the upper classes, and ask me, a lowly civil servant, what is it? You sit there with full knowledge that there is no equality in this world, that there are those of us who serve and those who serve. Those of us who obey and those who are obeyed. Those of us who bow and those that are bowed to. You sit there knowing that there are things that happen in this world which cause some of us to be humiliated and those which are the cause of that humiliation. And still you ask me, what is it?
What is it? Don't stand there like a gibbering idiot. Tell me what you want.
I'll tell you what I want! I wanted to apologize Something so deep and vital, so organic, it can only be described as the very life force itself. The matter was over. For once, for all, forever. What happened next was quite simple. Chekov arrived home, took off his coat, lay down on the sofa, and died. For those of you who are offended by life's cruelty, there is an alternative. Chekov arrived, took off his coat, lay down on the sofa, and inherited 5 million rubles! There's not much point to it, but it is uplifting. It is not my intention to make life any harsher than it is. But there are those of us who are trapped. Witness the predicament of a young doctor who cares for and educates the children of a well-to-do family. Trapped, indeed.
Julia!
Yes, madam.
Look at me, child. Keep your head up. I like to see your eyes when I speak to you.
Yes, madam.
And how are the children coming along with their freshness?
They're very bright children, madam.
Eyes up. They're bright, you say. Well, why not? And mathematics. They're doing well in mathematics, I assume?
Yes, madam. Especially Bonnie.
Certainly. I knew it. I excelled in mathematics. He gets that from his mother, wouldn't you say?
Yes, madam.
Keep your head up. Don't ever be afraid to look people in the eyes, my dear. If you think of yourself as inferior, that's exactly how people will treat you.
Yes, madam.
A quiet girl, aren't you? Now then, let's settle our accounts. I imagine you must need money, although you never asked me for it yourself. Let's see now, we agreed on 30 rubles a month, did we not?
40, madam.
No, 30. I made a note of it. I've always paid my governesses 30. Who told you 40?
Well, you did, ma'am. I spoke to no one else concerning money.
Impossible. Maybe you thought you heard 40 when I said 30. If you kept your head up, that would never happen. Look at me again, and I'll say it clearly. 30 rubles a month.
If you say so, madam.
Set. 30 a month it is. Now then, you've been here 2 months exactly.
2 months and 5 days.
No, exactly 2 months. I made a note of it. You should keep books the way I do, so there will be these discrepancies. So we have 2 months at 30 rubles a month comes to 60 rubles, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Subtract 9 Sundays. We did subtract Sundays, didn't we?
No, ma'am.
I certainly we did. I've always subtracted Sundays. I didn't bother making a note of it because I always do it. Don't you recall when I said we will subtract Sundays?
No, ma'am.
Think.
No, ma'am.
You weren't thinking. Your eyes were wandering. Look straight in my face and look hard. Do you remember now?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. I was sure you remember. So that's 9 Sundays. Now then, we have 3 holidays, correct?
2, ma'am. Christmas and New Year's.
And your birthday. That makes 3.
But I worked on my birthday, ma'am.
You did? Well, there was no need to. My governesses never worked on their birthdays.
But I did work, ma'am.
But that's not the question, Julia. We are discussing financial matters now. But I will, however, only count 2 holidays, if you insist. Do you insist?
I did work, ma'am.
Then you do insist.
No, ma'am.
Very well, that's 3 holidays. there were no lessons.
But I gave lessons to Vanya.
True, but I engaged you to teach 2 children, not 1. Shall I pay you in full for doing only half of the work?
No, ma'am.
Then we'll deduct it. Now then, there we are. 3 days. You had a toothache, and my husband gave you permission not to work after lunch.
After 4, I worked until 4.
I have here did not work after lunch. We have lunch at 1 and are finished at 2, not at 4, correct?
Yes, ma'am. But I did work.
That's 7 rubles off. Let's see now. 7 and 12 is 19. Subtract, that leaves 41 rubles, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Now, January the 4th. You broke a teacup and saucer. Is that true?
Just the saucer, ma'am.
Well, what good is a teacup without a saucer, eh? 2 rubles. The saucer was an heirloom. It cost much more, but let it go. I'm used to taking losses.
Thank you, ma'am.
January 9th. Cola climbed a tree and tore his jacket.
But I forbid him to do so, ma'am.
But he didn't listen, did he? That's 10 rubles. January the 14th. Vanya's shoes were stolen.
By the maid, ma'am. You discharged her yourself.
But you get paid good money to watch everything. I explained that in our first meeting. Perhaps you weren't listening that day, Julia. Were you listening, or was your head in the clouds?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, your head was in the clouds.
Oh, no, ma'am. I was listening.
Good girl. And that's another 5 rubles off. Ah, yes. The 16th of January. I gave you 10 rubles.
You didn't.
But I made a note of it. Why would I make a note of it if I didn't do it?
I don't know, ma'am.
That's not a satisfactory answer, Julia. Why would I make a note of giving you 10 rubles if I did not in fact give it to you, eh? No answer? Then I must have given it to you, mustn't I?
Oh, yes, ma'am. If you say so, ma'am.
Well, certainly I say so. That's the point of this little chat, Julia, to please match it up. So we have 27 from 41 leaves 14, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
What's this? Tears? Are you crying? Has something made you unhappy, Julia? If so, please tell me. It pains me to see you like this. I'm so sensitive to tears. What is it?
Only once since I've been here have I ever been given any money, and that was by your husband on my birthday. He gave me 3 rubles.
Really? There's no note of it in my book. Well, I'll put it down now. Thank you for telling me. 3 rubles. Sometimes I'm a little lax with my accounts, always shortchanging myself. So we have 3 more from 14 leaves 11 rubles. Would you care to check my figures?
There's no need to, ma'am.
Very well, then here is your salary for 2 months. 11 rubles. Count it.
It's not necessary, ma'am.
No, let's keep the record straight. Count it.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Uh-huh.
7, 8, 9. There's only 10, ma'am.
Are you sure? Look around on the floor. See if you dropped one. Possibly there's a coin there.
I didn't drop it, ma'am. I'm quite sure.
But I don't have it, and it's not here on my desk, and I know I gave you 11 rubles. Look on the floor.
It's all right, ma'am. 10 rubles will be fine.
Very well. Keep the 10 for now, and if you don't find it on the floor later, we'll discuss it again next month.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. You're very kind, ma'am.
Julia, get back here. Why did you thank me?
For the
Why?
In all the other places I've worked, they didn't give me anything at all.
Then they cheated you far worse than I have. I was playing a little joke on you, a cruel lesson just to teach you. You're very trusted, my dear, and in this world that's very dangerous. I'm going to give you the entire 80 rubles as soon as I open. It's all ready for you, here in this envelope. Take it.
As you wish, ma'am.
Julia, is it possible to be so spineless? Why don't you protest? Why don't you speak up? Why don't you cry out against this cruel and unjust treatment? Is it really possible to be so guileless, so innocent, such a, pardon me for being so blunt, such a simpleton?
Yes, ma'am. It's possible.
Wait! For those again who are offended by life's cruelty, there's an alternative ending. Julia was so enraged by such cruel and unjust treatment that she quit her job on the spot and went back home to her parents, where she inherited 5 million rubles! It's my intention to someday write a book of 37 short stories, all with that same ending. I love it very much. It has been said that human beings are the only creatures capable of laughter, and that it is that faculty which separates us from the lower forms of society. Wouldn't they find it odd when they examine some of the objects of our life? Pain. Pain, for example, is no laughing matter. Unless, of course, it's someone else who is doing the suffering. Why, the sight of a man in the throes of excruciating agony because of an abscess tooth that is large as a jaw to the size of an orange is funny, I could not say. It is not funny, not in the least. But in the village of Astemko, where they have very little access to entertainment, a man with a toothache can tickle their hips for weeks. Wouldn't they find it even more amusing to know that the good doctor who normally performed the extraction of the angry teeth was away at the wedding of his daughter, and that the task fell to curiosity, an eager medical student, if, alas, the poor sexton who had the toothache, an inexperienced one.
Greetings, Father. What brings you here? The pain! The pain is unbearable! It's beyond unbearable, it's unendurable! Where exactly is the pain? Where isn't it? It's everywhere! It's not just the tooth, it's the whole side of my mouth! Well, how long have you had this agony? 10 years. 10 years? Since yesterday morning, it seems like 10 years! I must have sinned terribly to deserve this. God must have dropped all other business to punish me this year. Where's the doctor? The doctor's away on personal business. He left the care of his patients in my young, capable hands. But are you a doctor? In every way except a degree. I am a doctor to be. And I'm a patient to be. Goodbye. I'm not sure. The only thing that prevents me from being called doctor is the formality of an examination. I'm skilled, just not titled. Please, I beg you for this opportunity. Please sit in the chair, Father. Lord have mercy on my soul. Even sitting hurts. No doubt the nerves are inflamed. Once removed, the pain will cease to be. You're going to remove the nerves? The tooth that's connected to the nerve. It's a simple matter of surgery. The cigar. What? The smell of your cigar is terrible. I'm sorry. Would you rather throw it away? I only have it to steady my nerves. Keep it! Keep the cigar! Let's see what we have here. I pray to the saints dear Lord in heaven. Be gentle. Spare me, spare me.
My dear Sexton, we're living in an age of advanced science. In skilled hands, there is no longer need for pain. If it's gentleness you want, it's gentleness you shall have. Now, are you ready? Good. Now, open your mouth so I can examine. Come, open your mouth, please. My dear Sexton, inexperienced as I am, I know it's essential you to open your mouth. It's mandatory to all work concerning the mouth to have it open first. It would be highly impractical for me to pull your tooth from the outside. Now open up. Not the lips, the entire mouth. I don't want to brush your teeth, I want to examine them.
Will you be gentle?
Didn't I promise you I would?
As a child, I was promised many things I never got.
There is no pain connected to this part. This part is merely an examination to find out what must be done, where, and how.
No,
Now, let's have a look. Ah, yes. There it is. There's the ugly little fella. You're a nasty one.
stop talking to it! Don't make friends with it, pull it out!
Watch me. Tooth has a hole in it big enough to drive a horse to church.
What is it?
It's even disgusting to look at. But this is going to be my profession. I have to get used to these things. Now then, I'm going to try something.
Be gentle.
As though I were your own mother.
My mother didn't like me.
Don't say how exposed the nerves. All I'm going to do is gently blow on your tooth. That's all. All right? Here it goes. I have some information for you. The nerve is exposed.
Our medical science is advanced. Oh, we got teeth.
It's still incomplete. More work must be done. So much depends on the temperature of the doctor's breath. Here we are.
What are you going to do with that?
The tooth has to be pulled. It'll be out quicker than you can spit.
Merciful God.
Very good, nothing. It's all a matter of purpose.
I pray you. May the Lord enlighten your soul. May He give you health and quickness. Mostly quickness. Oh, man.
Come on, easy. Some teeth give you trouble, I admit. But that's only when the roots are. I hope you prayed for shallow roots. Don't do that. Don't grab my arm. Let go, I say. You got my hand again. If I'm going to pull your tooth, I need my hand. Are you going to let go of my hand? If you don't let go of my hand, I'm going to take these forceps and pull your fingers out. Don't wait, sit still. Okay. Now, the important thing is to get a deep enough hold so you don't break the ground. There. Now I got a firm grip on the little one. Now, whatever I do, don't grab my hand. I got enough trouble with you two without your interference. Steady now. When I say 3. 1, 2, 3. You still got the roots in your mouth. What a mess this is going to be. I told you not to twitch.
You butcher! You carpenter! For God's vengeance for all my sins! Where you the toothpick was joined, ignorant peasant!
The only thing further than the roots in your mouth are the brains in your head. Now get back in the chair. We have unfinished business.
Keep away from me! You put your fingers into my mouth. It'll be the first sort of food I eat this week.
Those roots come out. It's a question of professional pride. I give up. I failed in my duty.
Come, my son! Let us pray. Dear Lord in heaven,
Dear God above,
I pray for this good doctor.
I pray for this poor tree.
Keep his hand steady.
Keep his mouth open.
Don't let him fall.
Don't let him bite me. Hail Mary. Hail Mary. Hail Mary. Hail Mary.
Wait! There he is. An alternate. At that point, the good doctor returned from his daughter's wedding, where he had been gambling, and shared his winnings with both Curion and the sexton, giving them both 5 million rubles! Well, he was successful with all women for that matter. But there was a special challenge to beautiful women, married to prominent, rich, successful men. I could never do him justice, so let him tell you in his own words.
Go ahead and start that music. You can start that music as soon as Amy comes out, actually.
I, Peter Simeon, am the greatest seducer of other men's wives that I have met. I say this not boastfully, but simply as a matter of record. Staggering figures speak for themselves. To those men interested in playing this, I am satisfied, but often dangerous game. I urge you to take out pen and paper and take notes. I'm going to explain my methods. In defense, married women may do likewise, but it will do them little good if they happen to be the chosen victim. My methods have never failed. Now, in order to seduce women, there are 3 vital characteristics needed. They are patience, more patience, and still more patience. For those of you who do not have the strength to wait for this, I urge you to take up a bicycle. Rowing, perhaps, seducing is inferior. Now, in order to successfully seduce the woman, you must, I repeat, must, stay as far away from her as possible. Pay her practically no attention at all. Ignore her if you must. We will get to her through the husband. You are about to witness a practical demonstration, for as it happens, I am madly and deeply in love this week. My heart pounding with excitement, knowing that she will pass me this garden in just a few moments. Every time in my being tells me to wrap her, my arms around her, embrace her with all the passions in my heart. But observe how the master works. I shall be cool, almost to the point of freezing. My heart of hearts, and spouse her. Peter Simeon. Fancy meeting you here. My dear Nikolai, how good to see you. You're looking well. Notice how I'm not looking at her.
Well, thank you. And you devil, aren't you looking well? Excuse me, have you met my wife, Irina? Of course you have. You sat next to her in the defense house. Now, Irina, I don't know what this charmer told, but I must warn you. He's a scoundrel, a notorious bachelor, and an exceptional swordsman. That's the best I can say for you, Peter.
You're exaggerating. Madam, we proceed again.
We were just taking a stroll. If you're not busy, why don't you walk with us?
Oh, that's very kind of you. But as a matter of fact, I'm riveted to this spot. A new romance has just entered my life. And my legs are like pillars of granite. Until she's out of my sight, I shall be incapable of movement. Too much, do you think? As I said, be patient.
Hey, fantastic. You never cease to amaze me. Pretty, I suppose.
Most magnificent. Suppose glorious, and you shall suppose correct.
Any, complications?
A husband as usual. I'm afraid my cause looks hopeless.
Nonsense. I'm placing my money on you, Peter. And you know I'd never bet unless I'm sure of winning. Well, we're off. Good hunting, my boy. Good hunting.
Madam. Beautifully done with everything. I am sometimes awed by the work of a true professional. Did you notice our eyes met? We exchanged hardly a word, and yet how much she already knows of me. A, I'm a popular bat. B, a man in love, always titillating to the romantic woman. C, an exceptional sportsman. A nice contrast to her sedentary husband. And D, and this is most important, a dangerous fan of the ladies. Quite frankly, she's disgusted by me. A, because I'm a scoundrel and a braggart. B, because I'm shamelessly framed for my intentions. And C, because she thinks she's not the one I'm interested in. Forgive me if I'm overcome by my own deviousness. Now, next step, hypnosis. Not hypnosis with the eyes, but with the venom of the tongue. Much like a poisonous snake, moving in for the kill. And what's more, the best channel is the husband himself. Witness as I accidentally run into him one day at the club.
Oh. Oh. Peter, you're looking glum. I think your pursuit is going well.
Isn't that obvious? I'm doomed. I haven't seen it since last I met you and your lovely wife. I sleep little and eat less. I've had all my shirt collars taken in half an inch. Oh, Nick, why do I waste my valuable youth chasing women I could never truly call my own? How I envy you.
Me? Well, what is it about me that you think?
You're married, of course. Your wife, a lovely woman, let me tell you.
Really? What is it about her that fascinates you so?
Her grace, her quiet charm. But mostly it's the way she looks at you. Those loving, adoring eyes. How I long for a woman to look at me like that. It must send quivers through your entire body.
Quivers? Not really.
A tingle, perhaps. Don't tell me you don't tingle when she looks at you.
Of course. By all means, I tingle all the time.
She's an ideal woman. Believe that from a lonely bachelor. Be glad fate gave you a wife like that.
Well, perhaps fate is kind to you.
That's what I'm counting on. Well, good heavens, I'm late for my doctor's appointment.
What's he treating you for?
Melancholia. Please, say hello to your extraordinary wife, but I urge you not to repeat our conversation. It might embarrass her fragile sensitivities. Where is the woman for me? I know her. The question is, how soon will she be mine? There is still work to be done, but not by me. That task falls to my aid and compass. By the way, I saw Peter Semyonov today.
Oh, by the way, I saw Peter Semyonov today. Who? Peter Semyonov, the bachelor. We met him in the garden the other night. The attractive fellow, you remember?
I remember what a loathsome man he was.
You may not think so, but you know what he had to say about you.
Nothing that Ryder had to say was interesting.
He spoke most enthusiastically about you. He was enraptured by your grace and your quiet charm. And he seems you were capable of loving a man in some extraordinary way. There was something about your eyes. How you look so adoringly at him. He certainly had a lot to say. He just went on and on. Well, good night, my dear.
Good night. What else? What else did he have to say about it?
Well, that's more or less it. What I told you.
You said he went on and on.
He did.
But you stopped. If he went on and on, I would go on and on. Let's just go there.
Well, he said how much he envied you. And how much he wanted someone to look at him. The way that you looked at me.
How does he know how I look at you?
In the gardens that night. He must have been looking at you when you were looking at me. It sent a tingle through my whole body.
The way I looked at you.
Exactly.
But you were looking at him. You sure you couldn't have seen the way I was looking at you? As a matter of fact, I was looking at the flowers because he made me nervous the way he kept avoiding looking at me. You must have tingled for some other reason.
This is getting rather confusing. The point is, the man finds you fascinating, and I thought it would please you.
Well, it doesn't. And I'd rather not tell me such stories. Are you planning on seeing him again soon?
Tomorrow, for lunch.
Well, I'd rather not discuss it at lunch. If you tell him that. At dinner, tell me what he said. Good night.
Good night, Marty.
Good night, my love. I am spellbound on my own powers. I succeeded not only in piquing her interest, but causing her heart to flutter at the very mention of my name. All this was accomplished, mind you, while I was home taking a pine slipped bath. Luncheon the next day proved not only nourishing, but productive. By the way, old man, I ran into Nekrasov yesterday. The artist, it seems he's been commissioned by some wealthy critic to paint the head of a typical Russian Jew. He asked me to be on the lookout for a model for me. I said I knew just the woman, but I dared not ask her myself. What do you think about asking your wife?
Asking my wife what?
To be the model, of course. That lovely head. It'd be a damn shame for that exquisite face to miss the opportunity to be immortalized for all the world.
Really? For all the world? I see what you mean.
Why don't you discuss it with her?
Good idea. I'll discuss it with her. Well, I said I would discuss it with you. What do you think?
I think it's nonsense. How did he put it to you? I mean, did he actually say a typical Russian beauty?
Exactly. And that'd be a damn shame if an exquisite face like that missed a chance to be immortalized for all the world.
He just gets carried away by his own words. Those exact words. You didn't leave anything out.
Oh, yes. That lovely face. He said, that lovely face. A number of times, I think.
He does go on. How many times did he say it? Once, twice, what?
Well, let me think. It's hard to remember.
It's not important. In the future, I wish you'd write these things down.
Have you seen me near her? Have you heard me speak to her? Has any correspondence passed between us at all? No, my dear pupils. And yet she hangs on my every word, uttered by her husband. This treatment is applied for 2 to 3 weeks. Her resistance is weakening. Weakening! Weakening! Ha ha ha!
I think his mind is elsewhere, if you ask me. On some woman who looks at him.
What? Has he mentioned any woman in particular?
Oh, no. He's too discreet for that. He would pretend her good name at any cost. Instead, the poor fool talks to you all day. And feel sorry.
Sir Nicky, did you ask him to dinner tomorrow night?
He's busy.
The day after?
Busy.
Next week? Next month? Well, doesn't the man eat?
He says he's involved with a very important project. It'll be much more than serious. He did say with time and persistence, good things will come to him. Oh, by the way, he thinks you should go up on the stage.
Me? On stage? Why never? No.
Well, he said that. Just a moment. I wouldn't want to misquote him.
No. Take your time. Try to get it as accurately as possible.
Ah, yes. He said, with such an attractive appearance, intelligence, and sensitiveness, it's a sin for her to be just a housewife. and that ordinary demands don't exist for such women.
Yeah, I just know what I'm here for.
And natures like that should not be bound by time and space.
Yeah, I implore you, please stop.
And then he says, if I weren't so busy, I'd take her away from you. Yes, right there.
What did you say? It's important I know what you said to him.
Well, I said take her then. I'm not going to fight a duel over her.
You must have discussed your giving before. I beg you not to mention my name to him ever again.
But I don't, my love. He's the one who always brings up the subject. He shouted at me. She's an exceptional creature, strong, seeking a way out. If I were to get it, I would put her in a novel. The passionate angel, I would call it. The man's weird.
He's delivering my love letters, sealing them with kisses, and calls me weird. I ask her. Now, let's see what we've got thus far. She's definitely consumed with a passion to be. She is sure that I'm the only one who truly understands her. Her yawning, disinterested husband transmits my remarks, but it is my voice she hears, my words that sing in her heart. The sweet poison is doing its work. I am relentless. There is no room for seducing, for mercy in seducing business. Now, observe how deftly the final stroke is administered. Faint-hearted, I urge you, look away.
No, thinking not another word from him, nothing.
But that's exactly what he said. He begged me to tell you nothing. He said he knew because your sweet, sympathetic nature, that it would worry you to hear of someone else's distress.
Distress?
Worse, he's gloomy, morose, morbid, in the depths of despair.
No. But why? What's the matter with him?
Loneliness. He says he has no true friends, no relative, not a soul who can understand him.
But doesn't he know how much I grieve? Understand him? Doesn't he know how much we appreciate and commune with him daily? Doesn't he know how much we yearn to be with him? You?
I tried to make that clear. Again, I urged him to come home to dinner with me. But he said he's so depressed he can't even face people. He paces in the public garden where we met him every night.
What time?
Between 8 and 9. Oh, by the way, we've been invited to the Bosco's tomorrow. Is 8 o'clock all right for you?
8 o'clock? No. Aunt Sophie is ill. I'm going to visit her. I'll be there at 9. For the last.
Please, no applause. I couldn't have done it myself. That honor falls to my friend and collaborator, her husband. He wooed her so successfully that there was no carriage fast enough to carry her to my arms. She read all the way, observed. Now, in conclusion, you will understand if I ask you to busy yourself in your program for such. These next few moments are private, and I am, after all, a gentleman. My dear sweet angel, I can say the words now that I have longed to.
No. Lord, that sound please. Prayers. Not too hurting to my heart. For weeks now, you have used my husband as a clever and devious device to arouse my passion, which I freely admit have been my adornment these past several years. And in your sincere mind, you've awakened in me longings and desires that have dreadful houses. Healed my vanity. You succumb. You bestow my thoughts of untold pleasures in my weak. But you attack my every vulnerability. And I surrender. I'm here, Signor. But let me add this. I love my husband very dearly. He's not a passionate man, nor even remotely romantic. Our life together reaches not at the height of ecstasy, but depths of anguish. We have an even marriage, moderate in your streets will feel. If you want me, open your arms now and I'll come to you. But if you love me, turn your back to me so that I may never see you speak to you. For a dear sweet love of my life, I wait your decision. God bless you, Peter Signani. I hope life brings you the happiness that you've just brought me.
Peter Signani, the former seducer of other men's wives, from that day forth turned his attention to single unmarried women. Until he met the perfect girl and the confirmed bachelor married at last. And he is to this day happy. Until, of course, a dashing young officer comes up to him and tells him how much he finds his lovely wife attractive. Thank you. Oh, this story has been rather draining for me. I hope it hasn't been draining for you, but if it has, we will have a 15-minute intermission now, where you can go out and indulge yourself in snacks and drinks. But please don't bring any back into the theater. Just out getting some night air to clear my mind. It's wonderful. The sea air is so refreshing. It revitalizes my entire body. But my mind is blocked. I have no thoughts, no ideas. Most unusual for me. Usually they fill my brain, overflow it like a cascading fountain. And tonight, nothing. And still I have the urge to write. Something will come, never fear, always does. This kind of thing happens to men of my profession at one time. Writer's block will follow. No need to panic, it will pass through. Wait. Hold on. An idea's coming. Uh-huh. Yes. 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 No! Oh. Bad idea. Sorry I disturbed you. Not only was it a bad idea, I've already written it. It turned out awful. You'll pass through. This thing is only temporary. Though it's getting to be very long temporary. And nothing is coming. My nerves are tightening. Oh, God, help me! No. No! I take that back. I must apply in collaboration with the Almighty, with selfishness, to ask God to take time out to help me come up with this story idea. Forgive me, dear Lord. I'll go home and get some sleep. Tomorrow is another day. Oh, but if by chance something does occur to you during the night, I would appreciate it if you would let it be known to me. Even if you told me the germ of an idea. It doesn't even have to be original. I'm very clever at twisting things around. But look how desperate I've become, asking the Lord to resort to plagiarism for my petty needs. Oh, I must get home and get some rest before this is serious.
You, sir, have word.
Very nice.
Who's there? I can't see you in the dark.
Evening, sir. I wonder if you're good for a little entertainment.
Entertainment? I'm sure I don't know what you're talking about.
Sure you do, sir. Entertainment. Amusement, so to speak. A little diversion, if you know what I mean.
I think I do know what you mean, and I am not interested. Go on, off with you. You should know better than to make such a close picture.
But you've never seen anything like this before. That I promise you. It's a once-in-a-lifetime offer. Not even a little bit curious.
Curiosity is the nature of my profession, but I try to keep it morally elevated. Excuse me.
On second thought, perhaps you're right. This may be a little too much for man here. Sensitivity.
Wait.
Got you with that last one, didn't I?
I'm just asking, Mom. But just exactly what is this entertainment you speak of?
Well, sir, how would you like to see
Right now.
A drowned man.
I beg your pardon.
Why, a drowned man? A man with his lungs filled with salt water and a stone dead from drowning. How much would you pay to see that?
Pay? Pay to see a drowned man? Are you insane? Why, I would look at a drowned man if they paid me. Why would I want to look at a drowned man? What is the point in looking at a man who drowned? You're mad. Get out of here.
3 rules of the law of custom. 3 rules to see before it's even in the water. Then the agonizing act of drowning, followed by the grand finale. The man already drowned. Rest his soul.
So what are you saying? That the man's not dead yet? He's still alive and well?
Not only
Hit it
alive
again.
and well, but dry as a bone and skin right before you. I, sir, am the drowned man.
You? You're gonna drown yourself for 3 rubles. You expect to charge me with your own suicide? Must be lunatic.
No, no! You got it all wrong, sir. I don't actually drown. I only impersonate a drowned man. I jump into the icy cold water, splash around in it, flail my arms, yell for help a few times. Then I go under. Bump, bump, bump. Then I come up face down. All the puppy line sends a chill up your spine.
Not yet.
3 rules for individual performances, special race groups, show starts in 2 minutes.
Why would I stand here discussing the presentation? A drowning?
That's the whole point, sir. This is not some sort of cheap thrill. It's a rich taboo filled with social implication. Why, it's a drama, not tragic, but ironic in view of its many common features.
Oh. What's common about it?
Well, I blow up my cheek, bulge out my eyes, and yell for help, and I gave eyes. Sounds like a pig squealing. I'm the only one on the waterfront that can do it.
Do you actually expect me to pay for an underwater pig squealer?
I just had a very successful season, sir. But sold out in August. What do you say? Looking for the dinner show?
Why do I still listening to this?
I wish you make your mind up soon, sir. 5 minutes, the restaurant goes garbage in the water. Then it gets messy. I have my pride.
To hell with your pride! Why, it doesn't prevent you from making a living by taking a sea swimmer.
You should know how to strike at a man vulnerable point, sir. That was cruel.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be cruel.
You completely overlooked the finer points of my profession. Look here. You ever see a coal miner at the end of the day? Filth and grime all over his body.
Okay, that's good, that's good.
Soot up his nostrils, in his ears, black grit in his teeth. It's disgusting. Or a barber who goes home at the end of the night with a tiny of other people's hair sticking to his fingers. It gets in his bread. It gets in his shoe. It's... It's not. You know where a surgeon puts his finger?
Oh, please!
Or a farmer's feet? Sir, every man's work eventually touches something. I, on the other hand, deal with water. Water is wet. It's clean. It's purified. I don't have to take a bath when I get home at night. Can you say the same, sir?
Do you think I'm gonna discuss my toilet habits with you? My God, you're infuriating! There must be a couch around here somewhere. Cabby! Cabby!
You'll regret it. You'll be back one night, bored to death, dying for a good drowning, and I'll be gone. My last week here, I close on Sunday. Next week, I'm in Yalta.
There's a police officer. Now, if you don't leave me alone, I'll have you arrested for soliciting.
I'm not soliciting. I'm in the maritime entertainment business.
Drowning is not maritime entertainment. You're a waterfront lunatic. Officer! Officer!
All right, I'm going. But let me tell you this. The drowning business isn't what it used to be.
I hope you, sir. There's a man there in the docks. Why, he's been pestering me all evening. Well, I shouldn't be surprised if he were deranged.
A lot of bad characters run these docks at night, sir. A gentleman like you should be running about me. By the way, what was he pestering you about?
Well, I'm warning you, you're going to find this
strange. He wanted to charge me 3 rubles to watch him drown. Can you imagine?
Strange. It's outright thievery. Why? It's not worth more than 60 kopecks. You can fine as drowning if you like, not pay a penny more. What, sir?
Officer, I believe you missed the point.
There's 2 brothers in the next pier. One release will give you a double drown. That's enough bargain between, sir. Get your money's worth.
But it's not a question of price.
Why? Just the other day, right over there, 14 captain, entire shipwreck for 3 rubles. Well, a good pay, 10 rubles. You get a whole navy going now. Yes, sir. 60 kopecks. That's all I can do. Stick to your price, sir. Have a nice evening.
It's come. It's finally come. The day the world is gone mad has arrived at last.
I see the officer is gone. What did you tell him?
I told him the truth, that you were mentally unbalanced. Unfortunately, he was a little more mentally unbalanced than you are.
Still, I appreciate you not causing me any trouble. So, in gratitude, I am lowering my trust to an all-time low. 80 kopecks.
80? You thief! But you conniving, wretched, deceiving little thief! I won't pay more than 60 kopecks.
60 kopecks for a drowning? Well, where's my profit? I mean, it cost me 40 kopecks for my towels, and another 40 for the guy who fished me out. I'd be losing money on it. What's the point? I just might as well stay under.
You can't cheat me, sir. 60 kopecks for the drowning, take it or leave it.
You're a hard man, sir. A hard man indeed. 60 kopecks it is. I just pray to God that my son would want to be a drowner.
30, 40, 50, 60. There's your money now. Where shall I stay?
Right up on the edge of the docks. That's where you'll see all the action.
But it's a bit dark down there. Are you sure I'll be able to see?
No more fog. No
It's
more.
so eerie. The eerier, the more entertaining. All the action in the last 10 seconds, eh? Well, here I go. I almost forgot. When I come up for the 3rd time, yell at the top of your lungs, "Pop the Chesky! Pop the Chesky!"
Who is Popnichevsky?
He's a fellow that fishes me out, you see. I can't swim.
You can't swim? Are you trying to tell me you're going to drown yourself without knowing how to swim?
That's what makes it so exciting, you see. Chesky always waits until the last second before fishing me out. He's in the bar, probably having a drink. Chesky, don't forget. Well, if you like it, tell your friends. In the soup, as we say. No! Help! I'm drowning! I can't swim! Someone save me!
Over here, a little towards me. I can't see too well there.
Oh, God! Come on! I'm drowning!
Good, very good. Yes, well, that's enough of that. I don't want to see that part anymore. I don't have all night, and could you drown now? Hey, do you hear me? I would like to have you drown now. Where the devil is he? Ah, there he is. It's the 3rd time, isn't it? Good heavens! What was that fellow's
What?
Your name.
Oh, Nina.
Nina. Is that it? Just Nina?
Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Nina Mikhailovna Zeryanska.
Age.
My age?
Yes, please. That would mean, how old are you?
Well, how are you looking for?
Couldn't you just answer the question simply, please?
Well, yes, ma'am, but I just wanted you to know. I'm the age one. 16, 30, in school once, I put a 78-year-old woman with rheumatism. Everybody thought it was very weird. 79, rheumatism told me so herself.
Yes, but we're not looking for a 78-year-old rheumatic woman. We're looking for a 22-year-old girl. Now, how old are you?
22, ma'am.
Really? I would have guessed 27 or 28.
Well, I have a bad head cold, and it makes me look older. Last year, when I had influenza, the doctor thought it was 39. I promise you I put 22 when you need it, ma'am.
Do you have a temperature?
Yes, ma'am, 103.
Good God, child! What are you doing walking around in the dead of winter with a temperature of 103? Well, go home, child. Go to bed. Come back some other time.
Oh, no, please, ma'am. I waited 6 months to get this audition. I waited 3. That's just go with 6-month waiting list. Then put me on the list again. I'll have to wait another 6 months. By that time, I'll be 23 and too old to be 22. Please let me read them. I'm really feeling much better. I think I've done what I want now.
I can see you have your heart set on being an actress.
My heart, my soul, my very breath, the bones of my life, the blood of my veins.
Yes. You've had enough of your medical history. Now, what practical experience have you had?
As what?
Well, for example, what we're discussing, acting. How much acting experience have you had?
You mean like on a stage?
It says real play experience.
Well, I studied acting for 3 years with Madame Zeryanska.
She teaches here in Moscow.
No, in my high school, in Odessa. But she was a very good actress herself.
Here in Moscow.
No, in Odessa.
You are then, strictly speaking, an amateur.
Yes, ma'am. In Moscow. In Odessa, I'm a professional.
Yes, that's very well. But you see, you need a 22-year-old professional actress from Moscow. Now, Odessa, I grant you, a lovely city. Theatrically speaking, is not Moscow. I advise you to get some experience and take the master.
I've traveled for 4 days to get here, ma'am. Won't you just hear me read?
Oh, dear child, I find this very embarrassing.
Even if you did not employ me just to read for you, the memory I will cherish for the rest of my life. If I may be so bold, ma'am, I think you're one of the greatest living authors in all of Russia.
Really, that's very kind of you.
I actually did that in a few minutes. But I read almost everything you've written, the articles and the stories. I love the one about. The one about. Oh God, every time I think about it, I can't control myself.
Really, which one was that?
The death of a government clerk. Oh God, I laughed for days.
I don't remember that one. What was it about?
Chekov, the sneezing splatter.
Oh, yes. You found that to be funny, did you? Strange, I meant to be sad.
Oh, well, it wasn't that. I cried for days. It was tragically funny.
Was it really? And of all you've read, what was your favorite?
My very favorite?
Yes, what was it?
Tolstoy's War and Peace. Well, you asked me what my favorite was.
Well, you're an honest little thing, aren't you? It's refreshing. Irritating. But refreshing. Now, what are you going to read from here?
I should like to read about the Big Sisters.
Indeed, which sister?
All of them, if you have time.
All of them? Why don't you just read the entire play while you're at it?
Oh, thank you, ma'am. I know it all. Act 1, the drawing room of Zoe's house. It is midday, and the bright sun is shining
That
on.
will not be necessary. An excerpt would be fine, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. I should like to do the last one of the play.
Well, good. That shouldn't take too long. Whenever you're ready.
I've been ready for 6 months, ma'am. Not counting the 3 months I waited for the 6-month waiting list.
Please begin.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, ma'am. Could you please say, ta-ra-ra, boom, sit on the curb
But meanwhile, we must live. We must work. Only work. Tomorrow I should go alone, and I should choose school, and give my whole life to those who need it. Now it's autumn, and soon winter will come, and cover everything over with snow. And I should go to work. Working. Shall I finish? Please. An older says, the music plays so gaily, so valiantly, that one wants to live. Oh my God. Time will pass and we should be gone forever. We'll be forgotten. Our faces will be forgotten, and our voices, and not many of us in the world. But our sufferings will turn into joy for those who laugh at us, and happiness and peace will come soon. And they will remember kindly and bless those who live now. Oh, my dear sisters, it seems that just a little more, we should know why we live, and why we suffer. If only we knew. Only we knew. Thank you, ma'am. That was all I wanted. You made me very happy. God bless you, ma'am. Would someone go get that girl before she goes all the way back to Odessa?
More volume. Let's go. That's fine, that's fine.
Good morning, Mr. Kusino.
Please, Chloe.
I'm sorry, sir.
My gout is acting up here. My God. The least of the noise was set off.
It sounds very painful, sir.
Combing my hair this morning was agony.
Mr. Kusino,
What is it, Butcher?
there's a woman here who insists on seeing you. I can't make heads or tails of her story, but she insists on seeing the directing manager. But perhaps if you're not well.
No, the business of the bank far outweighs my minor physical ailments. Show her in, please. Why?
Yeah, but I shouldn't be doing anything that I shouldn't be doing.
Someone is asking.
Thank you.
Now, what exactly is that
know the horrors of illness, madam, and I can sympathize with you. What's the nature of this illness?
It's a nervous disorder. Everything. Right on his nose. If you so much as touch him, he'll freak out.
Please go on a little less descriptively.
Well, while the poor man was lying in bed,
You're not going to scream again, are you?
not that I knew that cause. While he was lying in bed these 5 months recuperating, he was dismissed from his job for no reason at all.
That's a pity, certainly. I fail to see the connection with all that.
Oh, you don't know how I suffered during his illness. I nursed him from morning till night, doctored him from night until morning. Besides cleaning my house, taking care of my children, feeding our dog, our cat, our goat, my sister's bird who was sick.
The bird was sick?
Oh, my sister! She gets dizzy spells. He's been dizzy a month now, and he gets dizzier every day.
Extraordinary. However,
Oh, I had to take care of her children in her house, in her cat, her goat, and in her bird. One of my children into her cat, in her bird. So my oldest daughter's the one that broke the arm, drowned my sister's cat, and now my sister wants my goat in exchange, or else either drown my cat or break my oldest daughter's other arm.
yes, you have had your pack of troubles, haven't you? But I don't.
Oh, wait! When I went to get my husband's pay, they deducted 24 rubles and 36 kopecks for what I had. Because they said he borrowed it from the employee's fund. But that's impossible. He could never borrow without my approval. I'm working hard. He was sick, of course. I would have to scream. I'm not well myself, sir. I have this racking cough. It's a terrible thing to hear.
understand why you feel so bothered. What do you want from me, madam?
Rightfully belongs to my husband. It's 24 rubles and 36 kopecks. He won't give it to me because I'm a woman. Weak and defenseless. Somebody has laughed in my face, sir. Laugh! Oh, there's the humor. I wonder, in a poor defenseless creature like myself.
I see no trouble. However, I do not wish to be unkind. You've come to the wrong place. Your mission, no matter how justified, has nothing to do with all that. You have to go to the agency.
Oh, what do you mean? I've been in 5 agencies already, and none of them will even listen to my petition. I'm about to lose my mind. Here, it's coming out of my head. Don't tell me to go to another agency.
You can have proper listen to me. This is a bank. A bank. We are indeed banking business. We make money. Funds that are brought to us are bank wise. You understand what I'm saying?
What are you saying?
I'm saying that I can't help it.
You saying you can't help me?
I'm trying. I don't think I really can.
Say that you can't believe my husband is sick? Well, here is the doctor's certificate. You still doubt that my husband is suffering from a nervous disorder?
Not only do I not doubt, I would swear to it.
Well, look at it. Then look at it.
It's really not necessary. I know full well how your husband possibly suffered.
What's the point in a doctor's certificate if you don't look at it? Look at
I see it. It's right here on the doctor's certificate. Your husband is sick. You certainly have a good case, madam. But I'm afraid you stared at the wrong place. Getting a little excited.
You lied to me. I took you as a man of your word, and you lied to me.
Lied? When?
When you said that you read the doctor's certificate, you couldn't have read the description of my husband's illness without seeing that he was
read it. What's the point of reading something twice when you've already read it once?
You didn't read it carefully?
I read it in detail.
Well, then you read it to that. Read it slow.
Slower. I'm a fast reader.
Maybe you didn't absorb it. Let it sink in this time.
I absorb it. It sank in. I can pass a test on what's written here. Only it doesn't make any difference because that's nothing to do with our bank.
Did you read the part where it says my husband is suffering from a nervous disorder? Read that part again and see if I'm wrong.
Oh, that part. I see your husband has a nervous disorder. My, how terrible. Only I can't help you now. Please go.
I'm sorry, Excellency. I hope I haven't caused you any pain.
Hey,
You can't get a haircut at the winter shop. Why would anyone go to a winter shop for a haircut? Are you laughing at me?
I'm not going to be breathing. What's happening?
Did I tell you I'm fasting? I haven't eaten in 3 days. I want to eat, but nothing will stay down. I had the same cup of coffee 3 times. I'm faint. I believe in provocation. Why? You saw how I was screaming? 8 times a day that happens.
I want you to make human being, not a lunatic with a doctor's certificate.
He wouldn't even read it. He's wrong. Do it back in my face. Oh, my kind person. Have pity on me. You read it and see if my husband is sick or not. But I read it, madam, twice.
Me too. I had to read it twice too.
You just showed it to me outside. You showed it to everyone. We all read it, even the doorman. Oh, you didn't say. You didn't read it.
Read it, Mocha. For God's sake, read it so we can get her out of here.
Oh, yes. You said your husband is sick. Now, you clearly are going to have to get someone to involve you.
Yes. Good. Remove her to be the doorman and two of the guards. Be careful. She's as strong as an ox.
You touch me. I'll scream so loud they'll hear it all over the city. You lose all your customers. You want to go to a bank and make me weak, defenseless women. Oh, God, I think I'm going to faint again.
Weak. Defenseless. Why? You're as defenseless in the charge you are not, friend. You're as weak as the king of the jungle. You are a plague, madam. A plague that wipes out all that crosses your path. You are a raging river that washes down bridges and stately homes. You are a wind that blows villages over mountains. It is women like you that drive men like me to the distant world that like yours.
Are you saying you're not going to help me?
I give you permission to knock her down. Be some sense of yours.
You hear how I'm abused? Even how you hit an orphan mother. You hear me call Elizabeth talk. Get your hands off me! Help!
Here, you fool! Get away from the chat! We'll never get her out of here! Knock her senseless!
A curse on you and all your husbands! May the money in your vaults turn to night tables! May your gold and your cellars turn to irons! May your rubles turn to radishes and your Rolex to Becca!
You're 80,000
That's all that's due me. That's all I want. I'll get your money. Oh, and another ruble to get me home. I would walk without her.
years ago, to my youth. I was 19 years old, to be exact. And in the ways of love, I wasn't merely unschooled. I hadn't even been in the classroom. I was so innocent and shy, I actually believed that since the beginning of time, no woman had ever been completely unclothed. As for connubial bliss, I dared not think of it. And as for impregnation, I chose to believe it was caused by the husband giving the wife the most ardent handshake before retiring. I left it at that. But my father was a wonderful man, quite liberal in his thinking. On the occasion of my 19th birthday, he decided to introduce me to the mysteries of love. He was, however, a frugal man and decided to escort me himself to make sure that in the matter of bargaining, I wasn't taken advantage of. Picture, if you will, a younger version of me and my dear father.
Antasha, where are you? Don't stand there in the dark, shaking like a puppy dog. Come here. We have some adolescents to get over with.
Well, I'm not well, Father. I'm sick.
Sick? What's wrong?
Well, I haven't thought it yet. Give me a few minutes.
Fear, that's all it is. You best of fear. I was the same way when I was your age.
I never knew you were my age, Father. I always thought of you as older.
How old do you think I was when I was with my first woman?
Woman, Father?
Certainly I was with a woman. All men who become fathers were with a woman at some point in their life.
The same woman?
Certainly not the same woman. God, did you ever discuss these matters with your friends?
Oh, yes. All the time. We get too excited to listen.
It's a man's obligation to enter marriage experience in the ways of love. Otherwise, valuable years are wasted in endless groping.
I don't mind wasting a few years groping, Father.
It's all in the process of becoming a man, Antasha. First you learn to walk, then you learn to talk, and, well, now it's time to learn this.
Are you sure, Father? I'm not really walking and talking that well.
Antasha, we can't afford to delay any longer. I don't want you becoming an old man waiting to become a young man. Now, are you going to walk in there and have your first experience with a woman, or do I have to punish you?
Well, Father, I don't think we're going to find any women of high moral character around here.
We're not looking for high moral women. There are too damn many high moral women in the world as it is. That's why so many high moral men have to come down to places like this to find satisfaction.
Can I hold your hand, Father?
Certainly not. You can't go in there and become a man holding your father's hand. Tasha, we don't have all day. The mother's expecting us home by 9 o'clock. That gives us exactly an hour and 10 minutes.
You mean you told Mother where we were going?
Do you think I'm so insensitive? I told her we're going out for a walk to get some night air.
Yeah, but won't she become suspicious when she notices I've come home all grown up?
It doesn't show, Anton. You don't get spots like the measles. They possibly have a small smile on your face. But that's all. Now come on.
Father, aren't there other ways to become a man? I mean, I grow a mustache.
Tasha, we don't have all this time. Now, tell me the truth. If you'd rather not go through with this, I'll take you home.
Then take me home.
Wait until I ask the question. Would you rather not go through with this? I'll take you home.
Then take me home.
Very well. I see. You can get in your tub and play with your rubber ducky until you're ready.
Will you be angry with me?
No.
Will you be disappointed with me?
No.
Will you be proud of me?
No.
All right, I'll do it.
Good boy, Antasha.
But if I like it, can we do it again?
Certainly not. I didn't bring you down here with the intention of leaving you here. My God, it's a difficult business being a liberal father.
Evening, gentlemen.
Oh, gosh.
Steady, boy, steady.
Is she one of those teachers?
Looks like the principal to me. We've never wrong, son. She's a charming looking girl. I'll go over and attend your tuition.
Father, you're gonna take a correspondence course?
No, stay there. Don't move. I'll be right back. Don't twiddle your hat. This is not hat-twiddling business. Evening, madam. Lovely April night, wouldn't you say?
It's an April. I don't get out very much.
No, I can well understand that. It's been a long time since I've been involved with such matters, but I'd like to discuss with you a subject of some delicacy.
30 rubles.
So much for delicacy. 30 rubles, you say? Well, speaking for myself, I would say 30 rubles is quite fair, but it's not for me. It's for my young, inexperienced son. That's him, the one with the knees buckling.
It's still 30 rubles, sir. We don't have children's prices down here.
No, of course not. 30 rubles does seem a bit high for a boy of 19. You consider 15 rubles.
For 15 rubles, I read Peter Rabbit. Sir, a Norwegian ship is doing fine. I have to go in to put on my long boots.
But wait, there is an extenuating circumstance. It's the boy's birthday, and I wanted to buy him a nice gift. What do you say?
How about an umbrella?
See here, my day, 30 years ago, I shared the pleasures with the most delightful girl on this street. Ilka the milkmaid, she was called. She wants me in here too.
Well, she's still there. If you want her, she's down for 6 rubles now.
Oh, certainly not.
Oh, Father.
Yes.
Not ready yet.
In a minute, I'm still shocked. Really lovely boy. Fragile and sweet. Tells the most delightful stories. I'm sure you'll find him to be most entertaining.
Shouldn't that be the other way around, sir?
Father, I'm getting chilly.
Run around, Jim, let me down. Patience. You've waited 19 years. Just a few more minutes now. 20 rubles. Now, more. There's just so much I'm willing to spend on education. Please, it's for my boy.
Sir, you're a good and loving father, sir, and I respect you. Why if I had a father like you, I would never have ended up here on the streets, bargaining. Fathers like you.
I'm sure there's a moral in there somewhere. Just don't see it yet. There's just one other request that I have. At the conclusion of the evening's festivities, I would appreciate it greatly if you would just say, Happy birthday from Papa.
Happy birthday from Papa. Would you like any candles with that, sir?
Oh no, that won't be necessary. Be gentle and kind. Gentleness, that's all I ask. Good heavens, a tear. What a thing to cry over.
I'll wait upstairs. You'll find out second floor. I'll be gentle.
Thank you. Girls nowadays seem to be so much more understanding.
And may I say to men like you who make me proud to serve in my profession.
There you go, madam. Wonderful nurse she would have made. School here, then, Tasha. 7 for 20 rubles. You have to know how to bargain with these people. Well, off you go. 2 flights up, second door on the left. I'll be right out here, now don't rush.
Father? Want to say anything to her?
Like what?
Like hello?
Hello would be nice. Goodbye would be good too. Now go on, boy, she's waiting.
Are there any instructions you want to give me?
That's what I'm paying her good money for. The questions you ask, boy. Now go on before I have to pay her overtime.
I'm going. I'm going. Well, what is it now? Well, it's funny. When I come down from those stairs and out to the street again,
time, Gerald. There's plenty of time for you to become a man next year. Plenty of time next year.
If you wish, Papa. Yes, Papa.
I hope that portrait of my father came out to some effect. I loved him very much. And yet with him, as with all the other characters I've shared with you this evening, I can't help but feel a sense of betrayal. When I put my pen down at the end of a night's work, I can't help but think that I robbed them of the very precious life fluid. And what torments my conscience even more so, that I've had a wonderful time writing this evening. But before you go, what was it we were talking about? Earlier on, before the story of Cherry. Ah, yes. I was going to tell you what it was as a child I always wanted to do with my life. Well, then. Funny, for the life of me, I can't remember. But as I stand up here, with a feeling of great peace and contentment, to some measure I suspect I must be doing. Thank you very much for this visit. If you pass this way again, please stop by. Good night. Wait, there is an alternate ending. If you pass this way again, I hope you inherit 5 billion rubles! Good night!
Crank it up, crank it up. Yeah, I'm very proud of him. They did a good job. They did well. They did well.
I might have to come back again tomorrow.
Well, the two, you've seen the better show. Huh? The two so far, you've seen the better show. Janice and Janice and
It's a man.
The problem well, I haven't seen the tape yet.
Hilarious.
Oh, Taylor.
I thought she had a little man when she first come out.